italiane, dove è finita la cultura
özel bir şekilde öğreniyoruz. Ve bence bunu okuduğumuz zaman çok daha empati kurmaya açık oluyoruz.
Hello. The three of us have come to stage, Paula, Maria, Femke, because we at one point collaborated with Medialab-Prado. And we all brought an object with us to explain you a bit about how that collaboration went. As you will see, these objects are quite different, but what they have in common is that altogether they open a window onto the diversity and the multiplicity at work at Medialab-Prado. So let's start with Arduino.
My name is Paula Guimerán Sánchez. I'm an artist, an educator, and interactive designer. Currently, I'm exploring how to integrate art and science with science field. To do that, I use a tool called Arduino. We may say that Arduino is a very smart computer which allows people to build interactive electronic projects in an easy and accessible way. Some examples of projects made with this tool could be robots, wearable bracelets to measure your body temperature, or even air rocket launches. Without any doubt, one of the strong points of this tool is that it supports the open source philosophy. This means that the users share online their own tutorials and designs for others to learn. But where and when did I start for me? In 2005, I discovered Arduino thanks to Medialab-Prado. I had the opportunity to attend to the first Arduino workshop. These images show my first Arduino. Nowadays, there are a wide range of purposes that claim the importance of this device. Over the last years, the Arduino community has become crucial in the process of democratization of technology. Also, baseboards at LilyPad are used to make e-textiles and include crafts like painting and sewing, thus further integrating arts and crafts with science and technology.
Thank you, Paola. Well, my name is Maria Perulero, and in my hands here I have a Spanish translation of the book, The Code 2.0 by Lawrence Lessig. And I'm going to tell you the story of this book, which also reveals my connection to Medialab-Prado. When I was still in college at the University of Malaga, my professor, Florencio Cabello, encouraged us students to form a group to translate into Spanish academic literature we were learning from. This project was called Traducciones Pro Común, Commons Translation. The project was born from Hungary. We began to translate collaboratively, yet also learn collaboratively from the books we were translating. These books were about free software, free culture, communication networks, horizontal production of knowledge, and the digital commons. We like to think of Traducciones Pro Común as a cooking recipe for what we call commons-based peer translation, a cooking process which is inspired by the ideas of lots of cooks, where professors are no longer different from students, experts are not the only ones to hold, produce, and distribute knowledge. In 2011, we found our perfect kitchen. Medialab-Prado invited us to do Traducciones Pro Común as part of its Commons Lab. This lab is a space to reflect on what we own in common, such as internet, memories, public spaces, or radioelectrical space, and how we can democratically produce or manage those goods. Working with Medialab-Prado, we could share our hunger with volunteers from other cities who work along with the students. We translate the books through open wikis and social platforms and coordinated the work via emails and forums. We had regular physical meetings and negotiated a physical edition of the book and distribution under open and free intellectual property licenses. And this, as it is our cooking recipe for Traducciones Pro Común. It is this code that shaped this project to be horizontal, peer-based, cooperative, and commons enriching. As the author of this book says, code is law, and both Medialab and Traducciones Pro Común codes constituted the law that shaped our nature and aim, the cooking of new communities and knowledge.
So the last story in the row is the story actually of this bench that I'm sitting on. My name is Femke Snelting. I work with an organization, Constant, an association for arts and media based in Brussels. And in 2013, we teamed up with Medialab-Prado to organize together the International Libre Graphics meeting to host it in Madrid. And just before the event was going to happen, Medialab was able to move into their new building. And as you saw, it was in the video just now, it's quite a spectacular building, but at that point, the building was almost empty. There was no furniture. And we were expecting hundreds of people to come from all over the world, and they had nowhere to sit. So with a friend and colleague, Julien de Soif, a designer and programmer that was joining the meeting from Belgium, we decided to make a workshop. We made a workshop based on his design for the U-Bench, which is actually just a manual for how to turn a standard Euro pallet in 10 minutes into a bench like this. So once we had announced the workshop, soon after, lots of people started to show up. They were curious about the new building, sorry. They were curious about the new building, but also they wanted help out to make new furniture. And in the course of the day, not only individuals showed up, but also, for example, ZudoArc, a team of architects and designers and thinkers that's already active in Madrid for years. And they showed up with lots of tools, lots of hands to build, because we needed them, but also with lots of experience of how to construct public furniture from found materials. So together, we started to make things, and slowly the bench started to transform. And after a day, we had constructed 40 benches, but also chairs, tables, and many other things. So after this experience, the collection of furniture has continued to grow and is still very much in use. But this kind of multiplicity is, for me, very exciting about what happens in Medialab. So what I hope that with our stories, we have conveyed some of the liveliness that's happening at Medialab as a physical space, and in many ways collaborative culture making is going on there. But most important of all, I hope we have conveyed that Medialab is a community of communities. Thank you very much.
Se chiede un italiano dove è finita la cultura
Özel
di
bir
Sykora
şekilde
comunque non
öğreniyoruz.
c'è.
Ve bence bunu okuduğumuz zaman çok daha empati kurmaya açık oluyoruz.